All right. So, hi everyone. I'm Prathmesh this side from QuillAudits, and today we'll be going through and we'll be exploring the Scale Network, and we'll tell you guys about what the Scale Network is, why are we even using it in the first place, and what are its features,
All
what are
right.
its
So,
functionalities, and we'll go
hi
through the
everyone.
development of
I'm Prathmesh
the
this
Scale
side
Network
from
as well,
QuillAudits, and
and
today we'll be going
we'll also be
through
looking at
and we'll be
the
exploring
no
the
gas
Scale
fees
Network, and we'll tell you
features
guys
of Scale
about
Network,
what the Scale Network is,
and at the end
why are we even
we'll
using it
also
in the
be
first
going
place,
we'll also be
and
going through the
what are its
testnet
features,
all
what are
right
its
so
functionalities,
testnet
and we'll go
hi
through
everyone
the development
of
on
the
Prathmesh this
Scale
side
Network
from
as well,
QuillAudits.
which is called
And
Explained.
today we will
We'll
be
get that.
going
We'll also be
through
looking at
and we'll be
how you can
exploring
use
the
that
Scale Network,
the
and
testnet
we'll tell you
features of
guys
Scale
about
Network
what the
to
Scale
you,
Network is
and
why are we even
we'll
using
also
it in the
be
first
going
place,
we'll also be
and
going through the
what are its
testnet
features,
all
what are
right
its
so
functionalities,
we'll just be
and we'll go
hi
through
everyone
the development
of
on Prathmesh
the
this side
Scale
from
Network as well,
QuillAudits.
which is called
And
Explained.
today we will be
We'll get that.
going
We'll also be
through
looking at
and we'll be
how you can
exploring
use
the
that
Scale Network, and
testnet
we'll tell you
features of
guys
Scale
about
Network
what the
to
Scale
you,
Network is,
and at the end
why are we even
we'll
using
also
it in the
be
first
going
place,
through all the
and what are
features
its
and
features,
testnet
what are its
so we'll
functionalities,
just
so
we'll just be
and we'll go
hi
through the
everyone
development on
of
Prathmesh
the
this side
Scale
from
Network as well,
QuillAudits.
which okay. So I think we're good to start now. So also I think there was some issue with my mic previously. Why I hope that is sorted now. So yeah. So first of all, what is Scale Network, and why are we even using it on first place? And what does it have to do with zero gas fees? What is zero gas fees? Why do we need zero gas fees? So we'll be going all through all these features, and we'll be explaining every bit of that. So first of all, the Scale Network is a highly expandable multi-chain blockchain network that serves as a secure Ethereum scalability solution, right? So The scale network is not just one blockchain. The scale network consists of many other blockchains. So you could consider that as a multi-chain blockchain, which means scale network is a blockchain, but it also has different chains connected with it. So that is why it is called a multi-chain blockchain. Then, unlike most other layer 1 and layer 2 networks, the scale architecture is built to support an ever-expanding set of DAS-specific chains. So here where it comes the usage of multi-chain networks, where we can use each blockchain for different apps. So what are the different blockchains available and what are the different app-specific features available? We'll be going through that just in a moment. Before that, we'll just cover the basics and what is it based on, how is it working, and after that, we'll be going on to the dash specific chain. Right. So, K-Network uses the Ethereum mainnet to manage and orchestrate many critical operations, thereby enhancing the overall network security and transparency. Because obviously, as we know, Ethereum is the most secure blockchain out there, and it means that running a dApp on a scalable and fast chain provisioned exclusively for a dApp and ecosystem without the worry of gas constraints, with all the connections to Ethereum mainnet that you, your users, and your community need. It means having access to decentralized storage, web servers, and message transfer all on the same chain. So the Scale network offers us features like decentralized storage, web servers, and message transfer all in one chain itself. So you don't have to, involve the other chains to use these functionalities. Uh, yeah, Scale is obviously Ethereum native and it's built on Ethereum. And if we go forward, that Scale is interoperable with Ethereum itself. So the Ethereum Scale bridge, called the Interchain Messaging Agent (IMA), allows transferring of any token standard or message between the Ethereum and Scale using BLS threshold cryptography to secure the transfer. And these are some of the higher level details which you may not want to go into when you're starting with this network. But yeah, just for the knowledge of it, that we use a high level cryptography to maintain the inter-messaging agents and the interoperability with Ethereum. So Scale is also incentively aligned with Ethereum. Scale network operations such as chain creation, validator registration, delegation, etc. All of the transactions on Ethereum mainnet and handled by the Scale manager. The Scale network is secured by Ethereum and drives the mining fees back to Ethereum miner. Right. So the Scale network can support an unlimited number of chains that are purpose built for Web3 apps. This is one of the biggest features of the Scale network which we are housing right now. And if I go on to another major feature is the file storage. So a scalable Web3 storage layer on each scale chain, enabling dApp developers to leverage decentralized storage right on the scale chain. Right. And other than that, as I told about the Ethereum messaging, interchain messaging agent as well, we have the delegation and validation and the features of also. So the Scale network presents several distinctive features that differentiate it from Ethereum, right? It is built on Ethereum, but it has some different and distinctive features that differentiate it from Ethereum. If it was the same as Ethereum, then all the developers would prefer using Ethereum as well, right? So what makes Scale network different and what makes it differentiating from Ethereum are some of the points like the dApp. First of all, is the dApp specific chains where Scale supports the creation of dApp-specific chains, allowing the developers to have a blockchain environment tailored specifically for the applications needs. This customization can lead to optimizations that are not possible on a shared blockchain like Ethereum. And then we have scalability and speed. So scale chains are designed to be highly scalable and fast. They enable the decentralized applications to operate in a decentralized network of 16 nodes, which can enhance performance and reduce the latency compared to the often congested Ethereum mainnet. Then we have the cost effectiveness as well, which by using the scale network, developers can avoid the Ethereum's gas fees, which can fluctuate and become prohibitively expensive during peak times. This is particularly beneficial for applications requiring higher transaction throughput. So, what are some of the major use cases in blockchain which require zero gas fees? We'll be going through that soon, and there you will be able to realize that why zero gas fees is such an important step in the world of blockchain. Then we have the integrated services as well, where each scale chain comes with a built-in functionalities like decentralized storage and message transferring capabilities, which can simplify the development process and reduce the need for integrating external services. Then we have the Ethereum compatibility, as we talked about, the interchain messaging agent. And the security decentralization is already secured because it is built on Ethereum network. And then we have the validator incentives as well, where the scale network provides mechanisms for token holders to delegate or stake tokens to validators, who in turn earn rewards. This staking and delegation model incentivizes network participation and security. And then obviously we have the multi-chain support. So let me just list out once again the major features of Scale, which is the dApp specific chains, the scalability and speed, the cost effectiveness because it has zero gas fees, and the integrated services like IMA and decentralized storage. Then Ethereum's compatibility, Ethereum security and decentralization. Then we have the validator incentives as well, and then obviously the multi-chain support. So these points can highlight how Scale serves as a complementary platform to Ethereum, providing specific advantages in scalability, cost, customizability, making it a compelling choice for developers looking to build sophisticated and resource-intensive decentralized applications. Right. So let us now go into some of the real-world use cases where one must agree and one must say that the zero gas fees feature is a huge asset in these particular applications and implications, right? So zero gas fees can significantly impact various real-world use cases, making blockchain technology more accessible and practical for applications where cost and scalability are obviously critical. So here are some of the scenarios where zero gas fees could be a particularly valuable feature. Before I go on to those features, let me just check if everything is going absolutely all right. Okay, let's begin again. So, where are the main features and where are the main real world use cases where the zero gas fees can be significantly impactful, right? The first one is microtransactions. Uh, just Yeah. So the first one is microtransactions. So for applications involving frequent small transactions, such as in-game purchases, digital tips, or micro rewards, zero gas fees make these economically feasible. So on networks with high transaction fees, the cost can often exceed the transaction value itself. So let's just say, so if I take the example of India, so in India, the unified payment interface, which is called the UPI, is widely used. Like mostly all the teenagers and all the youth is using the UPI network, right? So let's just say that I go to a betting shop and I buy, let's just say, two Center Fresh. So Center Fresh is a chewing gum which is highly consumed in India. So let's just say I go and buy 2 rupees worth of Center Fresh or a chewing gum. So if I want to make that payment, let's just say that we are 10 years forward in our time and everyone is using crypto, right? So if I wanted to make a payment of 2 rupees and if I wanted to make it through a crypto payment and if I wanted to do it on the Ethereum net, on the Ethereum mainnet, right? So if I want to pay 2 rupees, I have to spend almost 5,000 or 4,000 rupees just on the gas fees. So this is obviously not economically viable, and this is something which does not make sense. So for microtransactions where you just have to make very small payments, which are of the micro order, then there is where there that is the area where zero gas fees come into play. So if I may want to make a payment of 2 rupees or 3 rupees, then I do not want if I want to make a payment of $1 or $2, I do not want the gas fees to exceed the payment itself. So in those cases, we use the zero gas fees feature, right? So then we have decentralized social media platforms. So social media platforms require high volume of user interactions, such as posts, likes, and comments. So zero gas fees can enable these interactions to be recorded on the blockchain without incurring prohibitive costs, encouraging more widespread adoption and interaction. So let's just say that a decentralized social media platform is built on top of Ethereum. So every time, let's just say your friend or your girlfriend um, posts something and you want to, shower your love in the comment section. So if it was built on a gas-intensive blockchain, then each comment or each like or each share, each post share which you would make would require you to pay gas fees, which is obviously not viable and not suitable for anyone. So this will result in zero users for the platform itself. So that is why here again here we can use the zero gas fees features. That if you want to build a social media platform, then everything should be less gas intensive or in fact zero gas intensive. So this could be another application, and then we have the IoT application where the IoT devices often need to communicate small packets of data frequently and autonomously. So zero gas fees allows these devices to interact with the blockchain to ensure data integrity and smart contract execution without the overhead of transaction costs. Then we also have the supply chain management, and we also have the voting systems. So, blockchain-based voting systems can benefit from zero gas fees to reduce the cost of casting votes and thus facilitate larger scale and more frequent public and corporate voting initiatives. So, in India, we have generally seen that the voting is done through the EVMs, which are the electronic voting machines, right? Obviously, not the Ethereum virtual machine, the electronic voting machines. So in those, there are certain reports, and after each election, when a party, wins uh, by some votes or anything, so post-election, there is always some drama involving the EVMs. Uh, some set of people say that they were rigged. Set of people say that it was pre-computed or anything like that. So to reduce and to remove all these allegations and everything, we can move the whole voting system onto the blockchain, right? So for that particular system, if the voting system is built on a blockchain, which is obviously gas intensive, then each casting of each vote would require the payment of gas fees, which is again not viable and would reduce the number of voters. So here also we can use the zero gas fees to reduce the cost of casting votes and thus facilitate the larger scale and more frequent public and corporate voting initiatives. Um, okay, while I'm telling about all these things, let me just okay, we'll go through the website later. So then we have the financial services. That is also one area where we could use the zero gas fees. There is also healthcare data management. Then we have the educational credentials as well. We have the real estate transactions and the legal document verifications. So these are some of the real world use cases where zero gas is very important and could be a huge feature. Right. So okay, I think we are done with the explanation of why zero gas fees is so important and what is actually Scale Network doing. So if we go on to the move into the website of Scale Network, here we can see that the scale fuels innovation but not gas fees. Uh, okay. So if you visit Scale website, you can easily access all of their docs and features from here, and you can give a read. What are they all about? What are the different features? Like I just mentioned, that they are Ethereum native, they are also modular, and they have shared security with Ethereum, and then they are eco-friendly, obviously, because they use an proof of stake consensus model, which is far more eco-friendly than the proof of work consensus model, which is used by Bitcoin. And then we also have the feature of on-chain file storage, which is where on-chain file storage can be used by dApps and AIML integration and NFTMS storage. And these are some of the articles which are released on Scale. And then gaming is one of the huge use cases of Scale Network, and it is an area or an ecosystem where the Scale Network is focusing a lot. Because if you just say that when we play games, right? Let's just say Valorant is a very famous and popular game right now. So let's just say Valorant was built on a gas-intensive blockchain. So all the kills which you make and all the rounds which you win and all your stats and everything goes into the blockchain's memory and the blockchain storage. And each of that would require a transaction to be made, and each of that would also require some gas fees to be paid. To avoid that, because we cannot we cannot make a game, or we cannot play a game on blockchain until and unless there is no gas fees involved. If there is gas fees, then obviously we cannot play a game, because through each level and through each skill we have to, make the payment of the gas fees, which is obviously not viable for that. So in such a case, those blockchains which are focusing mainly on the zero gas fees ecosystem and area, that is where the mainly the gaming ecosystem is built. So if you go onto the website and you go onto the gaming section, and if you go on to start building, then there we have the scale developer documentation, which we'll be going through in just a few minutes. Before that, we can also, yeah. So exactly, why was I mentioning that, why should we choose scale for gaming? It's obviously for these reasons, which is first of all the zero gas fees, and then we have the game changing speed. Obviously, it is the scale network is a very fast network. And then Scale Network also has some built-in game development tools like random number generators, native file storage, and UI UX, which the developers can use to uh, fast forward the process of development. And yeah, so these are some of the gas-free gamings which are in action right now. So if you go onto the website and if you scroll to the gaming section, then you can find the player first games which are powered by Scale, and you can go and give them a try. You can play on them, and yeah. Then also, other than gaming, AI is also another use case, or another technological area where Scale is focusing again, where it wants to revolutionize the AI with zero gas fees and instant finality, which cater to the nuanced requirements of AI applications, right? It also has some AI optimized features. And if we come to the other use cases, then we obviously have the DeFi, Web3, NFTs, DAOs, and e-commerce, which is something which is already being implemented in a lot of blockchains. But yeah, the gaming and the AI implementations are the major features which make the Scale Network stand out from other blockchains due to its zero gas fees features. So yeah, so there again, if you just scroll through the website, you can see how Scale is working. It is working through the virtualized subnodes and decentralized blockchain, Ethereum native orchestration method. Then it also has 10 million plus transactions per day per chain, and we can easily deploy Ethereum based smart contracts, which will shortly look into that how we can deploy a smart contract on Scale Network testnet through Remix. And yeah, so this is the tech behind Scale Network, which you guys can obviously go through. And these are some of the um, supporters and partners of the Scale Network. And also, this is might be of interest. This might be of huge interest to the builders and the developers out there who are planning to build on top of the Scale Network. So the Scale Network has currently launched an innovator program for the developers, which includes grants, consulting, marketing, PR, engineering support, quality support, and investor introduction, right? So this is something which I would encourage all the builders and the developers to go and check out. And if they are planning to build something which is zero gas intensive, which requires zero gas fees transactions, then they should go on to the innovator program and apply there, and see if their luck stands out, and if they can get in the innovator program. Because in such case, you'll be receiving grants and very important mentorship, which can be very instrumental in the development process of your application. So you can just simply go on the website and you can apply to the innovator program, and then you can fill this type form, and yeah, accordingly you can apply to the grant and the innovator program. Okay, so I think we are done with the basic introduction of Scale Network, what it does and how it does, and what are its main features. Now, how can we use it? So let us just go to the developer doc of the Scale Network. So once we visit the developer doc, here we can see that there are various sections inside the developer docs where we can see how you can build on Scale. You can also check out the different developer recipes, which are basically guided tutorials on how you can build on Scale. Then you can learn more about the scale chain. You can also learn about the internet messaging application, uh, the bridge, how it works using the threshold cryptography. Then Metaport is something which also provides UI widgets for you to add to your app. This is something which we will go through. Then also we have the scale fuel, which is abbreviated as S fuel, which is the secret to zero gas fees, and which is also the how we pay the gas fees. And then we have the file storage. We can also read more about that, and then you can deep dive into the technology and the delegation of the scale network. Right. So about scale network, I think we have gone through all of that. Yeah. So let me just okay. So yeah. First of all, when we start the development process on any blockchain, we have firstly we go on to build on the testnet, right? So if you go on to documentation, if you go on to the build on scale right here, then you'll be landing on this page where you will dot that how you can build on the testnet. So yeah, so as I said that scale network has majorly four sub chains you can say which are integrated along with which are part of the scale network. The first one is called the Nebula, which is specifically used for gaming. Then we have the Europa, which is specifically used for the DeFi applications. And then Titan, which is used for AI and ML applications. And then Calypso is an all-purpose blockchain which can be used for everything. It's like um, once that is done, then we can visit the S fuel station. So if we go on the SQL station right here, uh, okay, it's verifying if I'm a human or not. Okay, I am a human. I am a human. And yeah, so here we are in the SQL station. So this is somewhere where you'll get to know that how that the scale. First of all, SQL is the native gas token for each and every scale chain. So SQL has no monetary value and cannot be purchased on a centralized exchange, decentralized exchange, or on-ramp. So this is basically how scale network becomes zero gas fees, or we could say zero cost gas fees chain, because some of the gas fees is used. We'll be seeing that how much gas fees is used. But that amount of gas fees, first of all, it is a very small amount, and second of all, the gas tokens are free to be are free from the facet of um, scale network. So you don't have to pay for the tokens which you are paying for the gas fee, right? So to differentiate it from other blockchains, so let's just say on Ethereum. So if you deploy in the Ethereum mainnet, then the gas fees is also paid uh, in the native Ethereum token, which is ETH, the ETH token, right? But in the case of Scale Network, the native utility token of the Scale Network is called SKL, but the token which is specifically used for the payment of gas fees is called the SQL, which is obviously free for usage and can be redeemed free of cost from the faucet. On the other hand, SQL is the native utility token of the Scale network. It is used for delegation, staking, chain payments, and governance, and it is not used to pay for gas fees on a Scale chain. So that is how we can differentiate between SQL and SQL, right? So, okay. So I hope all of you must have your MetaMask wallets installed. If not, then you can go on to Google and just write MetaMask install, and then you can go on to the first extension, the first result, and from here itself you can install MetaMask, right? So once MetaMask is installed, you can create your account and everything. And once that is done, then you can come. Okay, so I'll again tell you how you can proceed to the SQL station. First of all, you can just write the sqlstation.com, the domain name right there, which is sqlstation.com. If not, then you can come to the website. Then you can go to the developer docs, which will land you on this page. And from here, you can go on to build on skill, which will land you on this page. And from here, you can go on to the SQL station, which will land you on this page, right? Okay. So once we are here, we can go on to connect or add wallet. And once that is done, since I already had connected my wallet and I had already redeemed SQL, but I'll show you guys again how to do that. You can just from first of all you can go on to the network and you can choose from here that if you want it on the testnet or if you like first of all on which chain subchain do you want it? Do you want it on the Calypso, which is the all-purpose chain, or do you want a Nebula, which is the chain for gaming, or do you want a Europa, which is for DeFi, and do you want it for Titan, which is for AI and ML? So you have all the subchains listed right here, and then you have the mainnet and the testnet. So you can choose accordingly that if you are just trying to build or just exploring the chain and its features, then you can use it test it. But if you're actually building an application which will go out in production in the near future, then you can use the mainnet as well. So yeah, so the testnet faucet and the mainnet faucet, everything is free. So the the SQL which you will be redeeming from the faucet, be it for the testnet or be it for the mainnet, you can absolutely get it for free, right? So for in my case, I'll be choosing the Calypso testnet, which is an all-purpose testnet. So once that is chosen, you can connect your account, which will automatically show up here. Since I have 0.99 SQL, so it is showing my account balance here. Initially, if you guys are coming here for the first time, then it will be 0 SQL here. Then after that, we can just click on next claim full, and once that is done, yeah. So you have now successfully claimed the SQL. Okay. If I go into testnet. Then I go on to claim SQL. Yeah, now it will go on to claiming. It could take some time depending upon the internet connection network. And yeah, it is claimed now. Now if I go into my wallet, I can see that uh, I have SQL now. Right? Okay, so I think that since I already had Yep. Since I already have the SQL, a balance of one SQL, that is why I cannot claim more. But yeah, since you guys will be coming here for the first time, then you can claim according to your own needs. And if you want it for the testnet, you can claim it from here. If you want it for the mainnet, you can just click for mainnet, and then you can claim from for the mainnet as well. Okay. So once we are done with the SQL and everything, once we have the token to pay the gas fees, then we can exit this page, and we can go on to the testnet portal, and we can go and explore the chains, the different chains which are integrated with the SKALE network. Right. So if we come here, now this is the hub where we can, you can go through all the chains and what are the sub chains and everything. So let's just say that I go on to the Nebula Gaming Hub, right? So here, and once I click on the Nebula Gaming Hub, here you can find all the information about the Nebula Gaming Hub. What is its chain ID? You can open its website. You can also connect your wallet to connect it to the Nebula Gaming chain. And then we have the RPC endpoint, which you can use while you're developing your applications. We also have the WebSocket endpoints. We also have the file storage endpoint and the scale manager name and the chain ID hex. Right. Uh, these are some of the available tokens which you can use when you are developing on this particular network, and these are some of the verified contracts. And here you can from here you can manage the chain. So in the meanwhile, while it's loading, I can go on to the Nebula Gaming Hub, and you can from here explore all the games and everything about the Nebula chain, how do you use it, and what are the different projects which are built on the Nebula chain. So yeah, similarly, you can we can explore all the chains similarly. So if I go on to Calypso now, so again, if you we can go on to developer info, then we have the RPC endpoint and the website endpoints and everything. Again, you can use them from here, and then you can again go on to check the available tokens, which is USDC in this case. So yeah, so here from here you can explore all the different chains and different sub chains of the scale network. And once you are done with that, and once you have claimed the SQL also, so now you can go on to the documentation and just have a brief, you can briefly go over the whole documentation, that if you want to, deploy existing decentralized applications, which means that let's just say you had developed a decentralized application which was deployed on Ethereum beforehand, but now you want to shift it to the scale network. So in this case, you can deploy your existing decentralized application on the Scale network. You can obviously also deploy a new dApps on the Scale network. And yeah, so these are some of the docs for the hard hat and remix and open zeppelin, which will redirect you to the websites of the concerned protocol. And if you go and if you go on to the new dApps, you can see that there's a recipe section. So if you just click on that, so this is something which I would say is the most important and the major piece of information in the whole documentation, where you'll get to know that how you can start developing on the Scale network. So these are completely step-by-step tutorials on how you can build different type of applications on the Scale network, how you can deploy them, and how you can how you can deploy them, use them locally, or how you can even use them in the um, online IDs like Remix. Right. So once you come here, then you can see that there are 3 or 4 major tutorials. The first one being that how you can deploy a decentralized website using the scale file storage. So you can go through all these features and all the commands and the code base through here, and you can see that how it is being used. Then we also have that how we can mint your first NFT, right? Uh, through the remix ID, and if you want to use harder, then you can use that as well. Then for the SQL distribution, we have already gone through that. Also, how is being SQL how SQL is being distributed, and what is the proof about distribution? You will go through that as well. And then how you can use the Web3 different Web3 providers with the Scale network, which is Web3. The major two Web3 providers are Web3.js and Ethos.js. So how you can use them along with the Scale network? It is briefly documented in this section. So yeah, then we also have a tutorial on how you can create an ERC in-game token, ERC20 in-game token, and how you can create the contracts and everything for it. And then I would say if you guys want to go through a singular project where you can learn everything and all the things about how the deployment process is done in the local environment, then you should go onto this projects part and you can go onto the dynamic NFT creation project where in this project we will be going through the complete setup, how you can set up the project directories, how you can initialize the hardware project, and what are the different dependencies which you may want to add. So in this case, since we are using a dynamic integration, here we have imported a scale random number generator smart contract by through dot scale RNG. So similarly, there are various other features and smart contracts which you can import as dependencies into your project and use them, which are deployed on the scale network itself. So for that, you can go onto the GitHub repositories and go through that. So again, how do you you can see here that you can how do you configure the hard hat configuration file? All the code snippets and everything is provided here. How you can add the accounts and how you can add the URL. Then other than that, how the whole contract of the dynamic NFT creation is also included in this recipe as well. So you'll also be getting some knowledge on how you can create dynamic NFTs. And if you don't know what a dynamic NFT, so dynamic NFT is something where the URIs or the information of the NFTs is stored on chain rather than being stored off chain. So dynamic of NFTs are something whose metadata is stored on chain and it can be changed in the future, right? So if I say like if I have an NFT of a dragon which is of level 1 right now, so if it was a dynamic NFT, then by changing the specific codes and adding specific upgrading functionalities, I can add an upgrade functionality through which if I do some quest or if I complete some treasuries of quest, then in such case my dragon can be leveled up and level up to level 2 or level 3. So yeah, so this is also here we are using the on-chain SVG. So everything you can find in this. Recipe itself. Then if we come to the primary, the main part here, which is the preparing for deployment, then you can see that how the deploy.ts or the deploy.js files are written. So this is a file, this is the code specific to this particular project, but you can take inspiration and you can see how it is done, and you can take inspiration from here to apply it in your own um, project. And then we also have the front end part. Integrated in this recipe as well. We'll not be going through that for now. And yeah, so we have gone through the recipes and the developer documentation also. Uh, okay, we have also gone through the SQL part, and now we have Metaport. Okay, so Metaport, I would say, is another major feature, or I would say a major, you know, functionality which is very very useful for developers who are planning to build their dApps on top of the scale chain. So Metaport is a JavaScript or TypeScript customizable IMA bridge widget embeddable into any web application. So it enables the scale network developers an easy way to guide users to execute IMA bridge transactions throughout the scale network and with the Ethereum. Right. So first of all, you can guide users through transferring ERC20 tokens between your dApp and a dApp on another scale chain. Then you can also guide users through multi-step wraps and transfers between Ethereum, and you can help the users quickly unwrap the stuck tokens on various chains. So if I just go onto the playground environment for the Metaport, then here you can see that it is a playground for the Metaport, that how Metaport interfaces look like. So if I just say that if I go onto USDC, so you can just simply, just a second. Yeah. So let's just say you have Europa, you are on the Europa chain and you want to be transitioning onto the Nebula. You can just simply click on it here, and then it will ask for you to connect your wallet. And in a similar way, you can play around with the bridging and everything. And if I go on to Ethereum, then again for the Europa to Nebula, you can use it for that as well. So these are just to display the examples and just for references. You can, to get started and to how to use it, you can find it here. If you go down on how to get started, then you first of all have to install the dependency, which is scale network slash metaport, and after that you have to add that onto your particular front end modern web application, whatever you are using, whether it is the Vue framework or the React framework or Angular, and then accordingly you can go through the docs and everything, how is it being used, and yeah. Also for other examples, you can go on to the GitHub or to .NET development. And from here you can go through how it is being used and everything, and go through the code basis. So see, they also have some tips and tricks which are also being involved, and a very important note is that the default network is the main net itself. So yeah, this is how you can use the Metaport. Okay, so now I think we are done with most of the major functionalities of the Scale network, and why do we need zero gas fees, and what are the real life use cases where Scale network is used. So yeah. So now what we'll do is that we'll go on to the actual deployment of contracts and how do we actually deploy on the Scale network. So for that, we can go on to the Remix ID. So the Remix is an Ethereum ID through which you can deploy smart contracts and everything to onto the Ethereum testnets or the Ethereum based L2s using this online ID. So if I go onto my contract section and let's just say I go onto this mood.sol. Okay. So the mood.sol is a function, is a contract where it is a very, very simple contract where we have a string mood and we have a function set mood where we take in the as a parameter the mood, and we set the mood as the mood, and then we also have a function to get the mood where you can where we can use the get mood function to return the mood in that particular point of time, right? So the contract logic doesn't matter much here, and that is not something which is our primary focus. You can absolutely write any logic or any contract right here, but the main thing which matters is the deployment process and how you can deploy it on the scale network. And the main thing which I want to show you guys is how is the zero gas fee working and why is it called zero gas fee. So if I go on to also if this is the first time you're coming onto the Remix ID, so the Remix ID is an Ethereum based ID as I just discussed. So you can if you do not want to, go onto your local development tools, and if you do not want to develop or deploy a contract in your local environment, then you can just simply go on to Remix ID and you can deploy and create a contract from there. And how do you create a new contract? Okay, so you can go on to the contract section. You can click on this particular function, which is called create new file, and from here you can write new contract dot soul, and like that you can create a new contract. And write new contract dot soul, and like that. Okay. Yeah. So once you're done writing with the contract, you can go on to the deployment and transactions. And right here, initially the default environment which Remix uses is the Remix virtual machine camping, which is an environment which is specifically used in the Remix by the Remix virtual machine, like whatever it is. And then if you go on to that, then now, if you click on this environment drop down right here, then you there will be a list of different network which you can use to deploy your smart contract. So in my case, since we went on that SQL website and we grabbed and we claimed an SQL from there. So if I go into my MetaMask wallet, here I can see that currently I'm on the um, where is it? Yeah. So currently I'm on the Scale Calypso testnet. So and I also have one SQL worth of I also have one SQL right now in my account, which I had just claimed from that particular faucet. So once that is done, automatically this Scale Calypso testnet will be added on in the list of networks in your wallet. And once that is done, what you can do is that you can come onto the environment and you can click on injected provider MetaMask. Right, because we are injecting an external provider into the Remix virtual machine. So all these options which you can see here, which are the Remix VM and everything, these are the native virtual machines, and these are not injected externally. These are internal features which are being used by the Remix. So if we want to inject an external network or an external wallet into the Remix, then we have to use the injected provider. And in our case, we could have used Phantom or MetaMask or Brave or any of that. But in our case, since we have uh, taken the SQL tokens in our main MetaMask account, then we will just click on the injected provider MetaMask. And once that is done, yeah. So here you can see that we can see a custom chain ID network right here, which is the chain ID of um, the Calypso testnet. So if I go on to the Calypso testnet, uh, I hope the text, yeah, I hope it loads and works. Right, yeah. So as you can see that the testnet Calypso chain has a chain ID of 974399131, right? So if I go on to my remix ID, here you can see 974399131. So this and this are the same. So here we can see that the Calypso tested is now connected with the remix ID since the chain IDs are the same. We have assured that as well. And once that is done, now you can see that it is displaying my current SQL balance, which is 0.9999 up to something. And yeah, so let me just, first of all, I'll compile it. And once it is compiled, how are we compiling it? You just have to in Mac it is Command S, and in Windows it would be Control S. So once that is done, once the compilation is done, then you will see there's a um, deploy button right here. So if I click on that, then the MetaMask pop-up will be open. And yeah, right here, if you see that we are currently on the Scale Calypso testnet, and it is being deployed through the scale on the Scale Calypso testnet. So you can see that the estimated gas fee which is being used, like the amount of SQL which is being used is 0.000001, which is very, very, very less as compared to other blockchains. And also, even if it use zero point 0.5, let's just say even if it use zero point 0.5 SQL, then also it wouldn't matter. Why? Because the SQL which we are getting from the process is absolutely free of cost. So first of all, the SQL has no cost of itself, and uh, yeah, first of all, it doesn't have any cost of itself, and also, even if it had any cost, the SQL which is being used in the transactions is very, very low, right? So this is how, and this is what makes the Scale network uh, zero gas fees, zero gas fees enabled blockchain. So I can just go on to confirm, and I can confirm this transaction, and it is being deploying. Okay. Uh, So as you can see, I hope it is visible to you guys, right? So as you can see that, okay, it is not visible. Yeah, now it must be visible, right? So as you can see that the block number is this, and there we have the transaction index, and it is from our particular account, which was 0xdtfd. If you go into MetaMask, uh, okay, just a second. Yeah. So if I go into MetaMask, then you can see that my account's public key is 0xdfd. So this is the same public key here, and this is the mood that is the name of the contract which we are deploying, and this is the data and all, and logs and everything. So you can just click on that particular transaction. You can go through all the features and all the details of the transaction, that what is the status, what is the transaction hash, what is the block hash, what is the block number, and the contract address. So from here you can get the contract address of the address of the deployed contract. So if you want to use this contract further in any other contracts or any other applications, then you can just directly copy the contract address from here, and you can store it. And this is the amount of gas which is used, and yeah, that's all. So this is how, and congratulations, this is you have deployed your first ever contract on the Scale network. So this is how you can do it. And if I once we are done with the deployment and everything, now you can go and interact with the contract. And let's just say that I want to, because we had the set mode function here, which required us to input the mode which are right now. So since we have deployed our first scale, since we have deployed our first contract on the Scale network, that is why I'm very, very happy right now. So I can just write very happy, and I can go into set mode. And if I once I do that, it will again pull up the MetaMask pop-up, and I can you can again see that the amount of gas is being used is negligible. I can again go to only confirm and confirm the transaction. Yeah. So the transaction is confirmed now. And if you can go on, if we go on the decoded input, then we can say the string, we can see that string mood is set to very happy. And yeah, now if I go on to the get mood function right here, what it does is that it runs the mood, the current mood, right? If I go on to get mood, okay, I think, okay, yeah. So yeah, you can then get the mood from there, and yeah, this is how it works. And why didn't we get a MetaMask pop-up in the get mood when we executed the get mood function? It was because the get mood function right here is a view function, right? So what the view function does is that Hmm. What the view function does is that it specifies that this particular function, which is like it specifies that this particular function to which the view keyword is applied, it is not making any state changes to the storage and the state of the blockchain. That is why it does not use any gas, and therefore it does not require us to confirm the transaction because it is not using any gas fee. So I think we are done with the whole section. And I hope you guys have learned that what is the scale network, how is it used, why are we using the zero gas fees, and how zero gas fees is so important in the sections of gaming and AIML and microtransactions and everything, and decentralized social media as well. So zero gas fees is you know a budding topic right now in the world of blockchain and Web3, and every blockchain protocol right now is trying and developing and trying to research and make the protocol less and more of less gas intensive. So this is something which is already implemented by the Scale network now. So I hope you guys go on to the Scale network docs and everything. You can go through that, and I hope you guys leverage the power of zero gas fees. And this was all from our side. And yeah, so again, just to review, you can go on to the remix ID, you can write a contract, then you can connect your injected provider from here to the MetaMask, and then your injected provider will already have the testnet, Calypso testnet added to it when you'll go on to the SQL website there and you claim a SQL. And after that, you'll once you have the SQL, you can deploy a contract on from the remix ID. And yeah, that's all. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. This was our short and crisp session on how we can use the skill network and what is the skill network. And we'll be back in the next weeks with another live and with another topic where we'll be exploring other protocols and other decentralized applications. So it was all from our side now. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys subscribe to our channel. Do please to subscribe if you like the content. We have a lot of content coming in the next few days and the next few weeks. So if you are in the Web3 space and if you are in the Web3 space, even if you are like a technical person or even if you are a non-technical person, we have content coming out for all of you guys. So I hope you guys subscribe the channel, do like the stream, and do also comment your thoughts and everything. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. See you guys next week.